All right, what's good, guys? Welcome to another boot camp. This is kind of going to be putting together like the daily bias along with like the back testing. So like what we did 2 days ago, going over like back testing how we would have traded, and then from yesterday, right? How like we find daily bias, and this was the mock trade from yesterday. Ended up hitting both take profits that we set out. And we're going to combine the two. So we'll record the clips of me doing my daily bias right now, and then I'll stop the YouTube recording and I'll trade with my Discord, and then after I'll start the recording again and we'll go over how all of our daily biases played out, how we could have done it better, and I think this video will be super useful. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our daily analysis on all of these pairs right quick. Okay, so the S&P 500, bullish on the daily, bullish on the weekly, bullish on the 4-hour. Everything's saying bull, 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 bull. We also have high impact news today. Okay. Prelim consumer sentiment that comes out 30 minutes into market open, so that's something to keep in mind. We won't be trading until then. But anyways, daily bullish, 4-hour bullish. Let's see the 1 hour. 1 hour is bullish. Okay, now we can start kind of highlighting our building blocks in line with our bullish sentiment. Okay, because obviously we're bullish. Okay, we have a bullish order block right here. If we go into the 15-minute, this is an order block, and this is an order block as well. We also have, we also have this fair value gap. What the fuck is going on? Sorry. We also have this bullish fair value gap, but I'm not going to mark it out, but I'll keep it in mind. I'll keep it in mind just because I don't want my chart to get cluttered. We also have like that 15-minute low that's kind of in confluence with it. But what I've been noticing lately, I kind of like using hourly building blocks compared to 15-minute building blocks on the S&P. Tends to work out a bit better. Let's see, what else do we have? We could also consider this an order block, but all of it is it's all really this price range. This whole price range is just accumulation central. Do I think the S&P is overbought? 100%. Do I think that there will probably be a retracement real soon? 100%. But can we go against daily bias? No. So we're going to stick to this bias until we're proved wrong. And that's really when you should be losing trades. Your goal should be to lose trades based on high time frame reversals, not based off of execution errors. Okay, so what does that mean? It means, okay, we traded within the daily bias, but the daily bias literally shifted in market structure during that day, and that's why you lost the trade. That's the best loss to take, and that should be your goal for those to be your only losses to take. All right, so this is kind of all I have for the S&P today. We can also mark out this liquidity, but that's about it. All right, looking for bullish confirmation on here. Moving forward, we'll go to GJ. GJ, we are retracing on up into this bearish order block. Okay, right here, this move up, right? Boom, sweep of liquidity, break your structure to the downside. Okay, we're pushing right up on into that. So that's great for us. I'll put that in blue because it's an order block. Okay, so that's great for us. Unfortunately, we're bullish on the 4-hour, but bearish on the daily. So odds that we take a trade off this, relatively low, because we're bearish on the daily, but bullish on the 4-hour and the 1-hour. Okay, ideally we see daily and the 4-hour in confluence, and the 1-hour, but most of the time, like, at least I need like the daily and the 4-hour to be in confluence, because look, if the daily's retracing here, cool, that's great. But the 4-hour also has to break structure to give us that daily continuation, right? We need this to happen. Okay, so the odds that during New York session we just fucking plummet and break this like relatively low, right? And if we're even considering getting a break of structure on the 4 hour, we have to get a break of structure on the 1 hour first too. And that ain't happening, at least yet. The 1 hour low is right here. We're still pushing higher. Okay, so I'm not, it can go to the bottom of my list today. Moving forward. Gold. Okay, gold, we're bearish on the weekly, but bullish on the daily. Okay, and I talked about this in yesterday's video, saying how ideally we get bullish confirmation to go long because the daily is telling us bulls, right? And a similar situation to GJ where, yes, the weekly, yes, this high time frame is saying bearish, but the daily is saying bullish. We are trying to take daily moves. Okay, so we need the daily to break structure back to the downside to show that continuation that the weekly is going to keep going down. And right now we don't have that. Right now, for all we know, price could come into this fair value gap and push up higher, sweep daily liquidity, and then get the break of structure on the daily. Right? So what are we looking for? We're looking for daily freaking building blocks. Okay, we have equilibrium all the way down here. Odds that gets hit today, like negative a million. Okay, fair value gap right here. All right, if we look at the 4 hour, we are still like barely trending up. The 1 hour, this is pretty bullish for me, honestly. We had the break of structure to the upside, and we just had this liquidity sweep right here. This is something that I would like to look into, actually. This is a London low. This is in confluence with our what is this? Yep. London low, boom. This is really in confluence with our Forex strategy. So boom, this is a trade that we can take, boys. All right. All that we're waiting for now is literally just 5 minute break of structure. We swept this liquidity. We tapped into the London low, and what a perfect timing for this thing to be kind of setting up. New York market just opened, but again, I'm not really concerned because we have that news coming out 30 minutes in open, so we can keep talking about our stuff. But anyways, right. The 4 hour is like just kind of chop central. Daily's bullish though. 1 hour broke structure to the upside here. It looks like it filled in this fair value gap for like, this is just kind of choppy. Oh my, yeah, he's doing that shit on purpose, bro. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. Anyways. Got me distracted. Anyways, 4 hours kind of choppy, but we did break structure to the upside on the 1 hour, and the daily's bullish. And so if I see lower time frame confirmation to the upside, this is something that I would, likely be willing to take after news. Something that I noticed also, news drastically affects Forex more than the S&P. Probably just because I honestly don't even know why that's been happening, but that's been the case for the past couple months where news has just been really affecting Forex and not the S&P as much. But anyways, that's what I see on gold. Odds that I want to take on this trade, take a trade off this, really low. I would much rather take a S&P trade because we have everything in alignment. We have the daily in alignment with the 1 hour, but the 4 hours kind of chop. And like something off this, like if we do get a break of structure, ideally we see like, I don't know, fair value gap get filled. Like we're trying to wait until that news comes out. And if we're too late on this play, then it's fine with me, right? I'd rather wait for news and play it safe and be patient than to try and just take a gamble and like take a trade based purely off of technicals and like without news having come out yet. So That's gold. Moving forward, we have GU. Okay, GU has been really freaking bullish on the daily, really freaking bullish on the weekly. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, how, you know, this was coming in, filling this, and then we finally got that break of structure to the upside. Price has been just rallying since then. Daily has been bullish. 4-hour looks like it just broke structure to the downside, so this is going to be one of these pairs where it, you know, we're just not going to be trading it, because if we get a break of structure to the downside on the 4-hour, odds that it's a daily retracement relatively high. Okay, odds that next week we might come down a little bit, get a retracement off of this massive candle. This is definitely a fair value gap that's going to get filled. This is just liquidity void central. Okay, and I'm sure that it just pushed higher and higher every single time to take out sellers that were trying to short as price was going up. So yeah, we did have that break of structure on the 4-hour right here. Odds that I mean, we're not going to take a trade off this because daily's bullish, 4 hours bearish, and the 1 hour is currently bearish because we broke structure here, didn't really get any break of structure to the upside. Here we did get this liquidity sweep to the top side right here, but this sweep, right, like this isn't a liquidity sweep we want to take because it's low probability. Before then, the 4-hour hadn't even broken structure to the downside. The daily is still bullish, the weekly is bullish, and the 15-minute was bullish off that sweep. Okay, maybe you take it off the break here, but you're pretty much at break even right now. Okay, don't go against your daily bias, and don't try and take a trade based off of low time frame confirmation. Take a trade off of high time frame bias in line with low time frame confirmation. So with that being said, we have gold, which looks like it just broke structure to the upside. We have gold that just broke structure to the upside, and we have the S&P that just opened. We'll see what all these pairs want to do. Okay. We have these 15-minute lows within here. Ideally, we do see this fair value gap get filled, and if price just wants to rip and push higher and higher, then there just won't be a trade today. I got some shit for people saying like, oh, you never take trades. I'm undefeated this week. Your goal should be to be trading in probable conditions. You know, like the fact that I take news days off, if that's the fact that that's an issue for some people, that's like a telltale sign of you being new to the market. Like, yes, there are people that trade news, and that's okay with me. But the fact that like it's an issue that I'm taking news days off is pretty wild to me, because I mean, every good trader knows that less days in the market, higher chance of probability. This is a market that is built to beat you. Wouldn't it be smart on days where you are likely going to get beat by the market? Wouldn't it be smart to not trade on those days? Wouldn't it be smart if you don't have a trade set up to just quite simply not trade? Like, I don't know, like, am I wrong? Am I crazy for not wanting to trade when I don't get a high probability setup or under low probability conditions? Like, that seems pretty smart to me. Like, the best traders in the world, first of all, the best traders in the world don't trade every month out the year. And I wish I didn't really have that obligation, but I do because I have the Discord, and I'm okay with that. Obviously, there's no complaints with that. I love you guys. But, like, the best traders in the world are taking, like, dude, like 10 trades a month, bruh. Like, if that. And they're extremely profitable because their wins are just big daddy wins and their losses are lil baby losses. And like what I'm starting to try and channel now with my trading is exactly that. Like, okay, how can I make it so I literally never trade in improbable conditions? And the only way for me to lose is like my execution or my daily bias just getting completely like invalidated. And hopefully this video will help like show that type of stuff, right? Like, cause on this, right? Did we even really have a daily bias on this? Like, no, because we don't. Retracements are the hardest thing to judge, to guess where it's going to go off of. Let's think about our building blocks. We map out our building blocks. Oh, fair value gap. Oh, liquidity, right? We map out every single building block possible for price to retrace into. Just the possibility for it to retrace into it. And then we act off of the reaction, right? Because we're trying to catch the extension. We're not trying to catch the move down. If we were trying to catch the move down, how the fuck do we know what building block it's going to draw to? It's really, really, really difficult to be able to trade retracements, which in an uptrend, it's the small legs down. But it's very easy to catch the extensions, to catch the legs up, because it's within trend. That's where the volume's going to go, and the volatility is going to push it in the right direction. Versus retracements, it's usually, like, look at this right now. This is just chop, 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 chop. And you can even see this happening. Oops. You can even see that happen. Look at this daily time frame. This was a weekly retracement. This leg down. Yes, we had one clean move down to break structure to the downside. But like this price action is just doji, 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 just chopping because there's no volatility to the downside. It was a weekly retracement. Going to the 4 hour, who's trading this? And this was off of news. This was off NFP. You know, who's trading this? Versus, look at how clean the uptrend is. Fucking higher highs and higher lows, bruh. That's baby pips. That is baby food, bro. Yes, this was kind of choppy, but that was still before we broke out of the daily structure, right? Boom. Once we broke out of the daily structure with this candle, with this extension up, look at this, bruh. This is literally how they teach it in kindergarten, bro. Like, you can't paint, like, you wonder why we would want to trade in these conditions and not this bullshit. You know? But that's just what I've been thinking about recently. But anyways, gold coming back down. Not really much on that, but we got news coming out in 20 minutes. I'm going to pause the YouTube recording, and then we'll resume it once we're done trading. All right? Bye, YouTube, for now. See you guys later. Okay, we're back. We lost the trade. So let's go over what we took, what we could have done better. And also, I'm realizing now that this is also like a trade recap, so there's no reason for me to do a trade recap on this. But essentially, we already went over what we saw on the daily, right? Bullish, 4 hour bullish, 1 hour bullish, 15 minute was bullish, okay? What were our confluences to enter the trade? So what I saw was price continuing up, and then we see this sweep of liquidity right here. And for me, that wasn't necessarily like enough unless I got more confirmation. So what did we wait for? We waited for confirmation. We got a break of structure to the upside with this candle, and again, like I've been doing for this entire week, I didn't let just this break of structure be the entry because I wanted more. So we waited for price to come back down, I didn't mark out equilibrium, but it was pretty obvious that it came within equilibrium. And then we showed a strong rejection off of that break of structure and pushing right back out of equilibrium, closing strong with this candle. So this was our entry candle. We put our stop just like at this wick, slightly below this area right here. Price moved up, got relatively close to our take profit 1, never hit it, ended up coming back down and stopping us out. If we look at the 15-minute, we didn't really make a full retracement yet. We did tap into equilibrium, or at the time we didn't, but if we go like this, now we're probably on our way down to equilibrium. So my thoughts on this, our price will probably fall, take out this liquidity, and then move higher, continuing within our daily bias. Okay, that's what I think price will do. As we see price coming down, probably going to take all the people with stops underneath here as well. This is probably where the majority of buyers had their stops from that leg up. So like, would I be opposed to taking another trade? Probably not. Do I want to take another trade and put more risk on the table? No, because it just doesn't make sense to me to take another trade, especially with me having made all of last week's losses back and then losing 9.5K today. There's just no reason to add more risk onto the table and potentially lose even more. So yeah, that's kind of my thought process on this. So what could we've done better? Waited for like these higher confluences areas to get met, because these were the areas that we marked out. We didn't mark this out as liquidity, and we kind of used it as a liquidity sweep and then an entry off of confirmation, but it wasn't our high time frame type of liquidity sweep, break of structure, confirmation entry. It was a lower time frame. So that is something that we definitely could have done better, or I could have done better. Let me think. What else? That was kind of it. Mainly just using use the higher time frame building blocks that you set out for confirmation, or for like them to get hit for you to look to execute. Wait for those to get hit and don't settle for anything less just because price is taking forever to move. That's kind of how I felt today. We just took out this liquidity here. I'm still sticking with my daily bias, obviously, because nothing has changed here. If we go ahead and look at gold, gold pushed again. Gold, this was what we last seen on gold. Gold broke structure to the upside, came down into here, and then boom, fell. But now what we talked about in the Discord, I was pretty much saying, hey, if gold can wick this and not actually break structure, this would be fire for longs. Again, I'm not taking it. But, right, we just broke structure to the upside on the 5-minute. So what would I be looking for here would be like a push into like an order block, a push into like equilibrium once we get retracements like on the way, which we don't necessarily have yet. We have this fair value gap within here. Really any sort of confirmation. This isn't enough for me to want to go long on it. So yeah, that's pretty much live daily bias, along with trade recap, along with what we could have done better, and backtesting. I think I'm going to pause this like one more time and kind of revisit this if it ends up, if it ends up going in our direction just like later. Like I'll pause this, I'll end the Zoom, and then I'll go grab lunch, and then like we'll circle back and look at this. So this video will be posted later in the day, and I'll make a TikTok explaining that. But I think this will be a very valuable video to watch and go over. But anyways, that was the trade that we took. Odds that I take another trade, very low. Do I want to take another trade? Yes. But I'm not going to, because I'm going to stick to my plan, because I am smart trader. But yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys once we see price develop even further on the YouTube and Discord jits. I'll see you guys tomorrow for our little weekly analysis. And on weekly analysis, we can talk a little bit about crypto, because we had some big news come out about XRP yesterday. So that's fucking really huge. And obviously anybody who's active in the investments that we have posted on the Discord, we got fucking paid. We got paid, bro. And if you guys didn't take advantage of that, that is your own fault for not looking at the thing that says TJR Investments channel. And I even put out a survey like a couple months ago asking if you guys were in the investments. And most of you guys said no. And I made an announcement saying that you guys should. But hey, don't FOMO into XRP now. It's too late. Had your chance. We'll have more of that shit to come in the future. Don't you worry about it. I'll keep you guys updated. But anyways, that being said, pause the YouTube and peace out Discord jits. Tomorrow, make sure you watch the vlog. I think it just got uploaded. It's the updated TRX vlog. So that'll be fun. Pretty cool video. Go watch it. All right. Bye. Alrighty, guys. So I'm going to finish up the video here, and pretty much go over what has happened since we last left off. So as we can see now, price came into that order block that we had marked out previously for our daily bias. So again, right, daily bias seems to be correct, right? Price could still reverse off of this, but I do think price will continue. But yep, this is what we see. Price comes into this 1 hour order block. Okay, we get that break of structure to the upside on the 1 minute. No real like secondary entry that you could have gotten here. There wasn't really an order block entry. There wasn't even a fair value gap entry. So you would have had to have taken this purely off of just order block, like order block, push into, and then break of structure on the 1 minute, which isn't necessarily high confluence for me. So I guess what you could be looking at now for potential would be like a 15-minute retracement, which looks like it's about to happen right now. So you could do something like this and see like, okay, maybe it's going to come down and take out this 5-minute low type of thing, or maybe sweep this low and then maybe fill this fair value gap. Who knows? But yeah, I just figured I'd wrap up the video and show you guys. Let's get rid of this. Show you guys, what happened and how our daily bias still held correct, right? We came down, filled this fair value gap, and rallied. However, right, it was the execution that failed, and that's the thing that we like. That's what our goal is to clean up. We want it to make it so obviously our executions are as clean as possible, and we get proved wrong by our daily bias. But that's definitely not always going to happen, right? There's a reason why, like, I've been doing this for fucking years now, and I can still lose trades like this. It's really hard to get to that point, but that's my goal, to be able to get to that point. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. Hopefully this was useful and beneficial to you guys. But that's pretty much all that I got for today. We had some daily bias along with live kind of the trade recap, and then along with that we also have kind of like a back tested thing. We can also look at gold. We can see that gold came down into that area that we had marked off, broke 5-minute structure to the upside, and that could have been easily a take profit being, at least your first take profit being hit off of that. I mean, we'll see. That's not even, barely a 1-to-1. So yeah, that would have been like first take profit hit. Could have set second take profit up here, third all the way up here or something. Never ended up taking that, but those were the two pairs that we wanted to trade today. Ended up taking an S&P trade. Did not play in our favor, but that being said, that's going to wrap up the bootcamp video. For the title of this, I think I'm just going to say like bootcamp plus like trade recap. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. With that being said, I'll catch you guys. Catch you guys tomorrow, and make sure you guys watch the vlog that gets posted today as well. Should be pretty interesting. All right, peace.